Yo, what's good YouTube? Zam Crow here, aka Scoop, back with the Pokemon Battle Federation Season 9, and we've got our week number 6 matchup here, where we're taking on Ryan and his RB Leipzigzagoons. And as you can see on screen, he's got a pretty scary squad. He's got Zeraora, Mega Pinsir, Jirachi, Shaman, Tapu Fini, Mamoswine, Alolan Muck, Dusknoir, Hitmontop, Moltres, and the Slagoo, where his Z-move users are the Zeraora and not the Braviary, excuse me. That was on there because that's on his squad now. So that's actually a mistake. It's Zeraora and Moltres, not Braviary. Anyways, our squad hasn't changed yet. We've got Tapu Koko, Kieran Black, Mega Heracross, Nidoqueen, Ferrothorn, Swampert, Mesprat, Mismagius, Silvally, Alamomola, and Entei. And this week we're bringing our Tapu Koko, Kieran Black, Mega Heracross, Nidoqueen, Silvally, and the Entei. So, he's got a very potent offensive team. He's got some very good speed tiers. He's got Zeraora, which outpaces my entire squad, even my Tapu Koko. He can use my electric terrain against me, and so on and so forth. He's got Jirachi, which is the Hacks Master, and that could be very unfortunate to get flinched down. Excuse me. Yeah, that would be very unfortunate to see. He's got Shaman, which could be annoying. Shaman, Tapu Fini could be an annoying core. Alolan Muck could be very annoying as well. Mega Pinsir is very powerful, could be a great breaker for him. I don't really have a flying resist outside of Tapu Koko, so he only has to bring, Frustration and Earthquake to run through my squad. He could bring Quick Attack for priority, or Faint even for priority. So that's something to think about. He could be a Swords Dance variant. He's got 3 potential Stealth Rockers in Mega Pinsir, Jirachi, and Mamoswine, which I kind of expect him to be on Jirachi if he brings rocks. Potentially on Mamoswine, like a lead Mamoswine or something like that. But I'm not actually too sure on it. Moltres as a Z-move user is very, very viable. Again, sorry that it says Braviary. It is Moltres as the secondary Z-move user. So yeah, we can talk about our squad a little bit. We have Tapu Koko, and we have a Fairy MZ variant. So we got the Twinkle Tackle, Dazzling Gleam, which is really nice. It helps us break through things like Mamoswine and Shaman, and Zeraora, which could otherwise, come in on Thunderbolts pretty repetitively and be kind of annoying. We're able to run a Modest Nature and outpace up to his Mega Pinsir, and that's really good for us. It gives us a little extra bulk so that we can potentially take a hit from Zeraora or something like that. We have 148 special attack EVs. Allows us to always be able to 2-hit KO things like non-specially defensive Jirachi and Dusknoir, things like that. It's always a 2-hit KO on top of Fini. If it's no bulk investment at all, it's always an Oko after Stealth Rocks, which is really nice. We've got U-turn on here as well for momentum, where you kind of force out things like Mega Pinsir, Moltres, Tapu Fini, and we can always get momentum on whatever he wants to bring in, whatever his switch in might be to Tapu Koko. And it could very well be things like his Shaman, which is probably one of his best switch-ins, Shaman and Mamoswine, the combination of the two, and then Zeraora. So being able to U-turn out on those and bring something in, such as Kieran, Mega Heracross, or Entei is really nice versus those. And our last move is Roost for longevity. Kieran Black is a Choice Scarf variant. We rock a Modest Nature, and we have quite a bit of special attack investment, and just a little bit of attack investment, and we have enough speed to where we would be outpacing Choice Scarf Nidoqueen by 2 points, expecting his Mamoswine to outpace our Nidoqueen by 1 point, and if he does bring a Choice Scarf variant, then again it would outpace my Choice Scarf Nidoqueen as well by 1 point. So that being said, I wanted my Kieran Black to outpace a potential Choice Scarf Mamoswine. So I went 1 point above that, pretty aggressive with the speed creep, and we're rocking the Outrage, Ice Beam, Fusion Bolt, and Earth Power. In the electric terrain, Fusion Bolt's a nice move. versus, in the late game versus things like Mega Pincer, Jirachi, Tapu Fini, Alola Muck, things like that. Obviously, Outrage is the move of choice once Tapu Fini is gone, and then Ice Beam. Pretty much till then, I can always Revenge Kill a +2 Mega Pincer. I can take out Jirachi, Moltres, can take out Alola Muck and Jirachi and Zeraora with Earth Power, so that's really nice. And yeah, I suppose that's about it. Terravolt does allow us to bypass Mamoswine's thick fat ability as well, so that's really cool. Next up we have Mega Heracross with Close Combat, Bullet Seed for the Tapu Fini, Rock Blast for the Moltres, and Mega Pincer, and Substitute so that we can avoid being, easily Revenge Killed. If we're able to sub up on something like his Muck or Shaman or something like that, and get a knockout, and then he brings Mega Pincer or Moltres or something into Revenge Killer, so we can always click Rock Blast versus those. And like I mentioned, Bullet Seed for the Tapu Fini. Very nice. We are very, very bulky with max HP and just a little bit of special defense investment. We're nearly max defense though. This thing was designed to kind of take on Mamoswine. At least switch in twice, unless I click sub. Once I start clicking sub and I start losing my HP, it's not that reliable as a Mamoswine check, but it's still okay. He could pack Hidden Power Flying though. That's something I kind of ran before to catch a Heracross and a Buzzwole off guard. So it's something that is a thought in the back of my mind. Next up, we've got Nidoqueen with Taunt, Stealth Rock, Sludge Wave, and Earth Power with the Black Sludge item and the Sheer Force ability. So we're max HP on this bad boy as well, with a little bit of special defense investment and quite a bit of defense investment with a bold nature even. This thing is pretty nice versus the the Nidoqueen is nice versus the Shaman. It's also nice versus the Zeraora. So I'll be using it for those primarily. It can also switch into Alola Muck's poison type attacks pretty comfortably. Obviously, I don't want to lose my Black Sludge from a knockoff, but if it comes down to it, I may have to, and things like that. Very, very nice Zeraora check, very nice Shaman check, and like I mentioned, quite bulky on the defensive side. Can take on Zeraora pretty comfortably, like very comfortably. So our last couple Pokemon here are Savali Grass and Entei. Savali Grass is a mixed defense variant with a careful nature, 160 EVs in special defense, 100 EVs in defense, and 248 HP EVs with Parting Shot, multi-attack, rest, and sleep talk. Reason being was I felt like Tapu Fini was a huge threat to the way that I was building my squad, hence having Bullet Seed on Mega Heracross, and my win condition was going to be my Entei. So I wanted something to pressure the Tapu Fini, so I got Tapu Koko, pressures it pretty well. I've got Bullet Seed on the Heracross, Fusion Bolt on my Kieran Black. Kieran Black and Entei look really, really nice in the late game. So we've got Parting Shot and Rest Talk. Rest Talk for Tapu Fini, I can switch in on Moonblast or Surf pretty much repetitively. I can rest up and then start Sleep Talk and potentially get a Parting Shot off the Sleep Talk. I could get a multi-attack off the Sleep Talk. Any chip's nice throughout the match, and then Parting Shot would allow me, some initiative if he does switch. If he stays in, I'll also get initiative, whilst weakening his the target, hopefully Tapu Fini. Anyways, after that, our last Pokemon is Mufasa, our Entei, and we're rocking the Charco variant this week with an Adamant Nature, max HP, 92 EVs in attack, and 168 speed EVs with an Adamant Nature. This sets us at a pretty comfortable amount of speed, and with an Adamant Nature, Sacred Fire really blows back his team once Moltres and the Tapu Fini are gone. But we also have Stone Edge for the Moltres, so if we can weaken the Tapu Fini, which is the game plan with the rest of my squad, Entei can really go in the late game. So our tech here is the Flame Charge. We got Flame Charge, Sacred Fire, Stone Edge, and our last move being the Extreme Speed. Extreme Speed being there to pick off, weakened Mega Pincers that have, got up to +2 or potentially just packing enough coverage to hit my Entei. or my Entei's in range of frustration or something like that. Extreme Speed's also nice to pick off Zero Aura. Zero Aura's speed tier is insane, so just having something to be able to check that sort of is really nice too. But yeah, it's going to be the squad, and we're going to go ahead and hop into the replay. Alright, so here we are with the replay, and my opponent chooses to bring the Mammal Swine, Mega Pinsir, Jirachi, Shaman, Zero Aura, and the Tapu Fini. He brings all 3 potential Stealth Rockers. He brings the Zero Aura, which was problematic in prep. Thankfully, I do have Middle King and ways around it, though, and ways to revenge kill it. So, hopefully it's not too big of an issue. Thinking that he would lead off with something like Mammal Swine or Shaman to counter my potential Tapu Koko lead, I'm going to decide to lead off with my Mega Heracross. And my opponent chooses to lead with his Tapu Fini, and immediately I click Mega Evolve here and Bullet Seed. But my opponent took a minute, and him deciding to take a minute on his move made me actually regret my choice here, and I wanted to switch into my Savali. But I didn't get the cancel in time. But I do survive the Moonblast, and I'm able to knock out the Tapu Fini here with the Bullet Seed, as it does land all 5 times thanks to Skill Link, and down goes the Tapu Fini immediately. So here he brings in his Jirachi, and I should 100% stay in and just click Close Combat here. There's, for one, if he doubles into Mega Pinsir, it's not Mega yet, so it still takes quite a bit of damage from Close Combat, and it prevents any kind of, well, it doesn't prevent setup, but if he tries to set up, he takes quite a bit of damage as well. So what I actually do is switch into Entei here, as my opponent goes for the Flash Cannon, and it looks like a great prediction, but it wasn't. I was basically just going into Entei, because if he was like Scarf Ironhead, then I would get, a small advantage if he didn't, hacks me to death. But he does get a special defense drop, which not the kind of hacks that I was worried about, but still something very problematic here. And what I should do here is sack off my Mega Heracross and not risk a potential speed tie, or depending on what kind of Jirachi this was, on how aggressive his speed creeps were, he could have been max speed there, in which he would have always outpaced me. So yeah, I shouldn't have stayed in there. I risked my Entei, which was a huge win condition, and it does not pay off for me. And the risk was way beyond any kind of reward there, as Jirachi wasn't as big of an issue, especially since I could have just sacked off 5% Mega Heracross. So that's a little bit unfortunate for me, and I go into my Tapu Koko, and on the back foot I'm going to make a prediction here as well. I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam, expecting Shaman or Mammal Swine to come in, but he stays in, he goes for the Psychic, and now I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt as he pulls the switch out into the Zero Aura. A little bit unfortunate for me, but there's still ways that I can come back from this. So I'm going to hard switch into my Niddle Queen as he goes for the return. It's not going to be a 2-hit KO. It does about 30%, 31% there, and I'm able to get my Stealth Rocks up here. He goes into his Mammal Swine hard here, and expecting this thing to be Scarf. I'm going to see what he locks himself into, and he goes for the Earthquake. So it's really nasty there, as I get a little bit of chip damage off, and that chip damage up there guarantees that he's in range of Kieran Black's Ice Beam, and that after Stealth Rocks, he's in range of Kieran Black's Earth Power, if I have to lock myself into that in the late game. So, locked in the Earthquake, I'm going to go into my Savali, 100% banking on him being Choice Scarf, and he does switch out into his Shaman as I double into my Mega Heracross, scouting for the Icicle Crash. So I'm going to pull a switch back into my Savali Grass here, scouting for Psychic or Dazzling Gleam. He does reveal Dazzling Gleam. He could have had Air Slash as well, I guess, and he goes for the Hidden Power there as I Parting Shot out. I'm going to go on my Tapu Koko here, and taking this as an opportunity to roost up, but even with the special attack drop, he is Life Orb, so he's able to get me there with a 2-hit KO. So I'm going to have to pop my Z move here, go for the Twinkle Tackle. It is able to knock out the Shaman, and he brings back in his Zero Aura here, as what I'm going to do is sack off my Mega Heracross finally, as he reveals the Bulk Up. Now this is very scary, but thankfully I do have the Choice Scarf Kieran Black in the back, and I can just bring that in now. With the Life Orb damage, he is guaranteed in range of Earth Power, and I'm able to knock him out here. but now he can bring in the monster Mega Pinsir and Swords Nets up. So I'm going to go into Tapu Koko, and to prevent him from going for an extra Swords Nets on my Savali, I go into Tapu Koko first, bait the quick attack to sack off Savali, and now I can bring in my Kieran Black, keep my Tapu Koko and my Kieran Black relatively healthy, and able to knock out the Mega Pinsir here. So now he brings in his Jirachi, and locked into Ice Beam, I'm just going to sack off my Tapu Koko, bring back in my Kieran Black, and now both of his Pokemon are in range of Earth Power. So I can just go for the Earth Power here, knock out the Jirachi, and after Stealth Rocks, Mamoswine is in range of Earth Power. I am modest max special attack here, but in my prep I made a mistake and did not EV my Kieran Black's speed correctly, and my opponent is able to outpace me there and knock me out with the superpower. Very unfortunate for me, but it's my own fault. It's on me this time. It's not on the squad. The squad did its job, 100% played and put out the work that they needed to, and I made a mistake in prep, which cost my team a W here. So that's not on the Pokemon, that's on the coach this week, and that's going to be it. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. It happens sometimes. A good game to ride. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.